Hi, this is Susan from Honor Yoga in North Brunswick. I'm going to lead you through a beginner yoga sequence. So if you have a mat, you can set it up anywhere in your house or outside if it's nice. Although it's raining today, it's actually quite relaxing. Or you can even use just your flooring if you have something that's got carpeting or cushioning if you don't have a mat with you. So welcome to this beginner sequence. So to begin with, we're going to come seated, crossing the ankles, allowing the knees to just open up softly out to the sides. If this is uncomfortable in any way and you have any kind of cushioning at home, like a pillow or a blanket, you could roll it up and put it underneath where you sit, just to lift the hips up a little bit and get the spine nice and tall. So before we begin any form of yoga practice, it's really important to signal your mind and body that it's ready to connect by disconnecting from everything outside of you. So just coming to this comfortable, easy seat, the ankles are crossed, the knees are open up. Lift the spine up as tall as you can by allowing the crown of the head to extend upward, creating as much space and openness in the body as you possibly can, and then taking the hands gently on top of the thighs. We signify a grounding and centering by palms downward into the thighs, or a readiness and openness to receive good energy by palms up, relaxing on the thighs. Keep the fingers open. And I invite you to close your eyes just for a moment and take a silent inhale and exhale. So bringing in the breath to the body, giving some space throughout the spine, that the spine reaches up nice and tall, and softening the shoulders so that they're not creeping up to the ears, keeping the chest and the front of the body open, expanded so that the breath can move freely into the lungs. So another full breath in and a full breath out. And take your right hand over the heart and the left hand over the belly, and breathe a full breath in and out here, expanding the chest, expanding the belly, and then contracting it back in. And take a moment here just to set yourself any kind of intention as you move through your practice mindfully, maybe just with gratitude for the way the body moves for you today. And then we're going to open up the knees wider and take the feet forward and together. So the soles of the feet are together and they're reaching forward. The knees are open up, making this little diamond shape. This is a butterfly posture, or in yoga Sanskrit, Baddha Konasana. And opening up the inner thighs here. Keep the spine nice and long, and reaching the body through and forward by not rounding and dropping the shoulders of the head, by keeping the spine long, knowing where your hip creases are, and lengthening with the spine through, grabbing around the toes, maybe right underneath it, cupping the feet with the hands, and using the hands and feet together as a push-pull to lengthen the spine up. And use your breath mindfully every time you move, trying to always connect to the way the body's breathing. Lengthen forward as the elbows slightly bend, and then lower the chest to the floor, and stay here and appreciate where you feel the sensations in the body. It's really important to be mindful of where you feel stretching. You don't want to overstretch, and you want to try to keep good alignment every time you move in and out of posture. So the spine is long and the crown of the head is open. And then slowly coming out of that, right? Not rushing out of a posture and not rushing into a posture. And then straighten the left leg out, flexing the foot by pulling the toes inward towards the torso and bending that right knee. Now the right foot comes to the inner left thigh and the knee continues to open up. Take the arms all the way upward to the ears. Inhale here, find length in the body. And on the exhale, start to do that hinging forward. The elbows can start to bend. We're going to reach the arms forward, thumbs up. Now the bend is coming again from the hip creases. With a long spine, reach it forward a little more. Feel the stretch in the back of the leg. It's good. And then allow the hands, if they do, to reach around the feet. And again, a little bit of a push-pull with the hands and feet to lengthen more. The hands could come to the shins. Wherever they're at is where you're at, and it's all good. And fold inward here. Try to pull the belly away from the thigh to help fold a little bit more and a little bit deeper here. Breathing fully inward and outward. Stay in the posture. And with each inhale and exhale, try to fold a little deeper. And slowly and mindfully coming out the way you came in. Straightening the right leg opposite side, so left knee bends and the foot comes to the inner right thigh as that left knee opens up. Reaching the arms all the way upward towards the ceiling. And then start to hinge from that hip crease forward. Thumbs are up, palms face each other, and just stop where you start feeling the stretch. There's no need to move into it too fast. And then start to fold a little more as you're feeling the body and feeling the stretch. And maybe your hands come around your foot, continuing to keep that foot flexed and active. Or the hands around the shins, or wherever they fall. And fold and be in this posture. Allowing the mind to connect always to the way the breath is moving. And then slowly coming out of it. Nice and gentle. Climbing all the way back up. And then coming into tabletop position. So I will come on my mat this way to show the tabletop. The wrists come underneath the shoulders. And the knees under the hips, and the feet directly behind the knees. And then a flat back. So as long and flat as you can make your back, allowing the crown of the head to lengthen outward. And push the floor away, spreading the fingers, making a lot of space between the fingers. And then take a nice inhale as you lower the belly down, but you lift the tailbone and you lift the chin upward. So there's this extension in the back. This is a nice inhale here. And on the exhale, begin to push the floor away, pushing down into the floor. Drop the head and lift the belly right up into the back of the body. So the back of the body arches, it domes, pushing away the floor. Very active here. Inhale, release it, belly down to the floor, tailbone lifts, crown of the head reaches back, chin forward, front of the throat is nice and open. Take a nice full breath in and out. And then another inhale, and on the exhale, reverse that again, pushing the floor away, dropping the head, and lifting the belly up and in. And then coming to a flat back, and just hips to the right, take your gaze over to the right as well. And then through center, hips to the left, gaze over towards the hips. And do a little bit of movement back and forth. The idea is to warm up the spine and get it moving in many different directions. We've been in a lot of flexion by sitting a lot during this time at home. And our body needs to extend. So you can create some free movement as you choose here. Moving in and out of the posture, just feeling the way the spine moves. You might hear some cracking, that's all good. And then come back to a nice flat tabletop here. Take a full inhale and a full exhale, playing around with some balance. Kick that left leg all the way back, and you can tuck the toes into the mat. So you're kick-standing that left foot and the left leg is long. And then put some weight over into that left hand and release the right arm forward for balance. The thumb is upward towards the ceiling. Always keeping the abdominals firm into the body. And then inhale and exhale. Always thinking of the breath moving. Lift the left foot away from the mat for fuller balance. If this is difficult to do, just re-land that left foot again. And then come back into the balance when it feels right. For an extra challenge, close your eyes and see what happens. Taking the breath in and out, land the hand and land the knee. Move through Lowering down the belly, lifting the chin and the tailbone, taking the breath in, and push the breath out as you push into the mat and pull the belly into the back and come back into this flat tabletop. Take the right leg back, tuck the right toes into the mat for a little kickstand. You can even move forward and back a little bit and feel the way the stretch reaches all the way down the shin into the heel. And then move the left arm away from the mat, thumb is up towards the ceiling. Stay here, take a few breaths, and then moving on, lift the right foot away from the mat for a fuller, deeper balance. Maybe try on this side to close the eyes as well and see the difference between right and left. And then slowly land the hand and land the knee down. And if the wrists are bothering you, you can just move one hand away and roll the wrist out, or even land the back of the right hand down as the left hand pushes into the mat. And just enjoy a little stretch by moving the hips back. And then re-land the right hand and try it to the opposite side. And then re-land the hand. Tucking the toes, prepare to lift up into downward facing dog. So the hips are reaching up to the ceiling, straightening the legs, and letting the head dangle down. So legs are long, heels reach towards the mat. Often there's a lot of space where the heels are lifted, and that's okay. But everyone's downward facing dog looks quite different. Everyone's postures look different, and that's how it's supposed to be. And then just breathing here, push the floor away so you lengthen the arms and the hips upward, continuing to open the chest and lift the belly. And then give a soft, gentle bend to the knees and walk the hands all the way back towards the feet. And then come to a fold. So the belly's folding into the thighs. Give a soft bend to the knees. If you feel a lot of stretching here that is uncomfortable, keep the bend in the knees as you stay in this fold and release the hands. Right hand grabs the left elbow, left grabs right, and dangle. This is like a rag doll. You can move the neck, make circles with the head. And then revisiting the fold by straightening the legs a little at a time and see how that feels. And then a little bit more and see how that feels. And then rebend again and come into this chair pose, reaching the arms up to the ears, opening the chest, bending the knees, and sinking the weight into the hips as though you are actually sitting down in a chair. So this is a lot of work in the quadriceps. Abdominals are working, chest is open and lifted, the arms are working, pulling them alongside the ears. So if that doesn't feel good to you, you can keep the palms connected here at the heart. You can keep the arms forward, thumbs up. Just work on feeling this full engagement in the quads. The toes are soft so they're not clenching or gripping the floor. And think of pulling the weight back. Stand nice and tall. Take a nice refreshing breath in and out. And then we'll come into a little bit of a balance by kickstanding the right foot so that the heel's away from the mat. Lift the belly in, find length in the sides of the body, really rooting and grounding down in that left side so that left foot is completely anchored below you. And then lift up that right knee. Just let the foot dangle a little bit. Find balance. You're gonna wobble around, and that's good. You're testing your body's understanding of where it is in space and time, and that's good. And then you can lower it back down, turn the knee over to the side, and rest the heel to the inner shin. Open up the arms out wide. You can stay here, or you can pull the foot up a little bit higher on the shin to make it a little bit more of a challenge in the balance. And even higher so, above the knee. So not landing the foot on the knee, but above it, onto the thigh. Maybe the hands come back to center to balance a little bit steady. And then let that knee out. Land the foot down. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. And an exhale, hands to heart as you kickstand left foot. And then lift the left knee up, let the foot dangle. And then slowly allow that foot to come back to the floor, heel to the shin, opening the knee up to the side. You can play with different variations in the arms, opening them up, even different things on both sides with the arms, or you can cactus the arms and allow that foot to drift up slowly wherever it feels good. And if you fall, come back into it. Closing the eyes also brings another dimension to the posture and is quite challenging. Slowly release, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, big inhale, and on the exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to come to a lunge posture. So you're going to step the right foot forward. Just take a nice wide step and then step that back foot back a little bit. So you're making this triangle with the legs. And turn the left foot out at 45 degrees. Put your hands on your hips and try to keep the hips squaring in forward direction. And then bend the right knee. So coming into one of the warrior postures, try to lengthen the tailbone down, pull the belly in, shoulders and hips are stacked, and swing the arms upward to the ears. Bending in that front knee, keeping the knee over the ankle, and making sure that the knee doesn't come in or doesn't come out too much. So there's all about proper alignment here. Inhaling and exhaling, go a little deeper. Keep that back foot reaching into the mat. And then slowly come all the way up to that front foot. And we're going to change sides. So step wide with the back foot, turn the toes out, make a little triangle with the legs, and then rebend in that left leg. Swing the arms up to the ears. This is your warrior one. And now the right foot is turned out at a 45-degree angle, bending into the front knee. Again, knee and ankle are lined up. Hips are squaring forward. You'll feel a nice hold on the front of the leg. And then you can add on with the hands by clasping the hands behind the back, giving a nice opening to the front of the body by pulling the arms back and away. Lift the chest, lift the heart. And come on out of that, swing the arms back up and step forward all the way to the top of the mat. Draw your palms together and come to a comfortable seat to close this mini practice. So crossing the ankles, take a full breath in and out, and join your palms here at your heart space. Take a moment, breathing in and breathing out, thanking yourself for being part of a practice today. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free from suffering, and may you live your life with ease. Namaste.